Well, I am in the rental business. We are all in the rental business. I am only as good as my tenants because I enjoy getting that cash flow each and every month. That's what I did. So much fun getting that check in the mailbox. I love that. But we're only as good as our tenants are. So let's talk about what's going on with our tenants. At the end of this video, we're going to talk about 6 things I think you should really pay attention to. And in the meantime, if you like my videos, please give me a big thumbs up. We really like that. I do the very best I possibly can. And if you subscribe, oh my gosh, does YouTube love that when you get subscribers. So tell everybody about that. Put some comments in there. I'd love to hear what you think was going on with your tenants. I'm going to tell you what we're seeing in our portfolio. We have a pretty big portfolio. We're portfolio managers for a lot of our clients, and I don't recommend that you be managing your own properties. You get a professional property manager. I don't manage any of my properties. I manage the property managers. So let's go on to my very first slide. Let's just talk about what's going on. So here is what's going on. I'm going to tell you, we're looking at tenants, and Americans in particular are going paycheck to paycheck. And we just got this survey. It says 78% of Americans are paycheck to paycheck. That means they don't have any reserves. They haven't got any money to get anything extra. Something something happens in their lives, they cannot afford to do it. If they have a flat tire, or if a battery goes bad, or if they have problems with cars, or the kids get sick, they don't have any extra money. They're already gone. This is a very bad sign for all of us. So let me go to my next slide. And look what's happening. So again, we're looking at this. We're looking at all the cash that was so available during the pandemic. The government sent out all this money. People were getting money. They didn't have to. They could mitigate their payments. They didn't have to pay them. They could put them off. And they were loaded with cash. They were buying all kinds of stuff. Uncle Sam was sending us paychecks. They were sending us cash right to our house. People were buying cars. They were going on vacation. They were buying expensive purses and wallets and clothing. And now all that money's gone. We're actually going negative. So we're into our savings, and we're actually going negative on the savings. The savings is not, we're not saving anymore. We're spending all our money, and we're getting rid of all our reserves. And that's obvious because we're going paycheck to paycheck. Look at this. And now that the savings are gone, we're going into the credit card to maintain our lifestyle. So these credit card companies are charging 25 to almost 30% interest on your credit card. How can you possibly do this? You're never, ever going to get ahead if you carry a balance forward. So here's what we tell you. I think we're going to have a huge, enormous opportunity for all of us to get rich. But if you've got credit card debt like this, you're not going to be able to participate. So pay your credit card down. You need to start building some reserves. Put some money in the bank. Quit spending. If you don't need it, don't buy it. You look at these 20 to 25 to 30% credit card costs. Get rid of that. And this is telling us that our people are tapped out. So if you don't have savings, and what happens when you max your credit cards out, you are going to be in trouble. And if you're one of our tenants, we are going to be in trouble. So we need to be very, very aware as to who we're doing business with. Because we've got the National Association of Credit Managers. They're looking at their indexes as high as it was during a great financial crisis. And we're not even into a recognized recession yet. We probably have entered into one. We just won't know it for another 4 or 5 months. But all the situations are there. Everything that goes together with this in a great financial crisis is already happening, and it's probably going to get worse. Now, these could be your tenants. So you need to, when you're talking to your tenants, you need to do some of your qualifications to make sure that you're not taking someone that's got credit card problems. Because now that their savings accounts are depleted, their credit cards could get maxed out, and they are losing purchasing power like crazy. So I understand why this is happening to people, because wages have been under pressure for the last 5 years, and in the last 4 years, people lost 20% of their purchasing power. Now, it's not so bad when you're still working, but boy, I'll tell you, if you're a retiree on a fixed income like Social Security or maybe you got a couple of annuities or some CDs or something, you are in a world of hurt. That's why we keep saying you need to have things that maintain your purchasing power, like gold, silver, commodities, agricultural, forest products, and of course, real estate. Real estate's the number one because you get an income off that. It maintains your purchasing power. And as inflation goes up, you can raise the rents. I mean, this is just a very good way to do that. But our tenants are getting squeezed. So we as landlords and investors need to be very, very aware of this. Now, you guys have all seen this. This is in the news. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics keeps coming out with these really rosy new jobs pictures. And they get this headline splash, goes on all the major media saying, oh my gosh, the economy is doing so well. And then 10 days, 2 weeks later, you go, oh goodness, we made a mistake. Who would have guessed? We didn't have 275,000 jobs. We actually, we're going to revise it down. Well, these are all seasonally adjusted numbers. And again, we're seeing that we're getting these blowout headline numbers. Look what happens when you go to the household surveys where people actually pick up the phone and call the house and they say, are you working? Who's working in the household? How much do you make? Is it a full-time job? Is it a part-time job? How long have you been there? And when you do that, are you working? We find out that we're losing 154,000 jobs, not gaining 275,000. We're losing over 150,000 jobs. So a huge disparity. So we have this delta. You can choose to decide who you believe. I know who I believe because I see this. We're talking to our tenants and we see that they are struggling. I go on the next slide. So what does this mean for you as an investor? What does this mean for you as a landlord? First off, I don't want you managing any of your properties. Just the compliance alone pays for a property manager. So let's do that. What we're going to see is a whole lot more forced home sales. Now I know that there's talk that there's no inventory. There's no listings. Well, I'm going to tell you when we start getting into trouble, and you can see that. You just look at the charts we looked at. The savings are depleted and credit cards are maxed. What's going to be next is people are going to say, I can no longer afford my home. And they're going to sell it. They're going to be forced home sales. Now, fortunately, they have a lot of equity, so they're going to sell them and they're going to get some cash. So that's going to be really good. But it's going to drive a lot more listings coming. And of course, probably going to put some pressure on housing prices because these people are going to be selling it because they're going to have to. Or they're going to move out of their properties and become accidental landlords because they can no longer pay for their property. They're going to let someone else pay for their property. And we see this a lot. This is an indication of recession. We see it an awful lot. I think that might be something good. Again, I'm going to highly recommend that you talk to a property manager to do that, just so that you can price it and just so that you can qualify your tenants. Now, when you start talking about tenants, we're going to see a lot more tenants, but we're going to see multiple tenants. We're going to see families and roommates. We're going to see grandma and moving in with the kids, or the parents moving in with kids, or the kids moving in with the parents, or you're going to see a lot of roommates. You could see two single moms moving together to combine so that they can get a nice property. It can split the cost of the property and gives them a little room so that they can help each other with the kids. We're going to see that. You're just going to see that when we get into recession. Now, again, we're going to focus on the tenants. This is our big recommendation, is that you focus on tenant quality, not rent. So I want you to maximize the tenant. Don't maximize the rent. Here in Phoenix, I just leased a couple. So one of mine was set between $1,900 and $2,200. Is the standard rental here in Metro Phoenix. I rented it for $1,995. And 5 applications in like 3 days. I took someone whose credit score was like 775. It was absolutely outstanding. And yes, I could have maximized the rent for another $50 or $100, but I maximized the tenant. This tenant's going to be with me for 3 or 4 years. They got good income. They've got great credit. So that makes me feel good because I'm only as good as my tenant. So I want to get them as good as I can. And here's our theme: safe, clean, and friendly. So when you have a rental and you turn it over, make sure it is safe, clean, take care of all those health and safety issues. Make sure that the smoke alarms, the batteries have been changed. Make sure that the locks have all been changed. Make sure the windows and doors all work. Take a look at anything in the unit that can cause any kind of safety or concern. Anything that's leaking or dripping, fix it. You know, if the AC needs to be serviced, fix it. You know, if the hot water needs or any of the appliances need any work, fix them. Make sure it's safe and clean. And when we say clean, cleanliness is worth $50 to $100 a month every month that tenant's there, and the tenants are going to be there 36 months to 5 years typically. So just think, if you have $50 more over 5 years, that's $3,000 just because it's clean. And I mean clean. I mean clean the windows, clean the countertops, make sure that the cabinets are all clean, make sure that there's no trash on the floor. You know, clean the carpets and the floors and the landscape. So make sure all this is done, and we are friendly to them. We are respectful to them, and we are friendly to them, but we're not their friends. We're friendly and respectful, but not their friends. So if we can help in any way, this is where you can reach me. I'm with West USA. It's a $1 billion firm here in Phoenix Metro. We've got a really, really big portfolio. I've been doing this for a lot of years. I would love to have your business. We've got a couple of funds that are coming up. We're going to be doing some syndications, because I think we've got probably an absolutely outstanding opportunity just coming right in front of us. This is coming close. It's coming soon. Here in Phoenix, we've talked about how good this market is here. We've got we've got the Taiwan Semiconductor plant, which is a $50 billion firm. We just got 8 more chip plants supplying that firm. We were just in the news last week with Intel here. You know, they're putting in another $1 billion. So we've got Intel. We've got chip manufacturers like crazy, bringing in thousands and thousands and thousands of very high-paying jobs. So we're really in good shape. Great place for you to invest long-term, decades-long term. We'd love to talk to you and see how we fit into your portfolio. We do absolutely everything for you. We'd love to consult with you. If you need to set a time with us, just call me at this number and we'll set a time. Please call. I would love your business. My best to you guys. Bye-bye now.